Hey everybody, Eduardo Jackson, creator and CEO of Cinema Draft, back at you again this Friday morning, shortly after we have locked our contest for the weekend, and I'm really excited. We had 26% growth in entries this week, and so hopefully that'll bring some more diversity of strategy. So let's take a look and preview some of these call sheets and see what strategies might be at play in advance of getting numbers for this weekend. So when you come into the lobby, it'll look a little blank. Click on live to see the contest in progress. And since it's the big money one, all these games are free to play, of course. Since this is the big money one, the feature presentation, let's take a look and see what's going on in here. And unlike last week where we had, I believe, 17 players and about 4 or 5 of them were either family or employees, this time we only have 3 family/employees. And so this guarantees that for a change, there will be people who are not in the money. 12 spots get paid from $80 down to $1.25, and which means that 18 people are eligible to win money and only 12 will. So let's see what contests, or let's see what call sheets will be winning people money. So you click on show ranking to take a look at the player pool and scroll down to see the different type of people. We got a lot of newcomers this week. I'm really excited to see the new strategies from the newcomers, see what kind of expertise and perspective they bring. Let's take a look at last week's champion, the first feature presentation champion in the history of Cinema Draft, Jay Devlin, defending champion. Thanks again for the shout out on your podcast, Jay. He has a podcast called Mostly Sports, which I think tapes every Tuesday night or every other Tuesday night on the Urban Broadcast Network, I think. He gave us a nice shout out on there at 48 minutes and 40 seconds. We really appreciate that. So his call sheet looks like, I think it's somewhat balanced as far as salary distribution to an extent. I mean, he does concentrate on the high end. He gets, he maxes out pretty much the most you can get on the girl on the train. You can't get 4 the girl on the trains because I've tried. I think at worst you'll be either a release type short or $300 over. So he gets 3 the girl on the trains, Emily, Haley, and Mauricio Ovale. Okay. Actually, I'm looking forward to seeing that tomorrow morning. He also got the Dressmaker, which is in its 2nd week of release. Looks like 174 screens. So if it does even like $1 million, it's gonna be 10 points right there with the 10-point bonus. Let's go back to his call sheet, or with 1 point for every $100,000 in box office gross at the platform level. Don't Breathe seemed to be, looks like he just punted the limited release type slot right here, because Don't Breathe is probably in its 8th week or something. It's been out for a while, but he did get himself a headliner, which is smart. So he's gonna maximize his puntage, and has $100 left over in his budget. And it looks like also he's betting on Middle School, The Worst Years of My Life, being a family-friendly entry in a fairly sluggish family-centric market right now. Let's take a look at another call. Well, let's take a look at my call sheet. Let's talk about my strategy real quick. So I did a headliner. I did a headliner stack of The Girl on the Train, because that's by far and away going to be the most popular movie this weekend by most tracking and projection. And also, just open your eyes. You've seen all the ads and stuff. It looks like it's going to be pretty popular. I'm betting big on Miss Peregrine's Home for the Peculiar Children repeating some of its success, even at a 50% drop from last weekend's $28.8 million opening. You're still looking at 14-15 million, which should be good enough to get me, some good points. And I made sure I got the headliner bonuses on that as well, so for 40% extra. Did a headliner stack of The Dressmaker, did a headliner stack of Age of Shadows, because at this point I'm just trying to fill slots and I'm pretty much punting, the entire platform release category, and as well as the dressmaker, which would have been nice to have gotten a headline in the dressmaker, but I just couldn't afford it because I went with the Queen of Cotway, the difference maker from last week, the movie that put Jay Devlin 0.6 points ahead of Fredo for first and 80 American dollars. So basically, my strategy is what in daily fantasy sports we call stars and scrubs, where my stars here would be the Girl on the Train and Miss Peregrine's. And instead of doing a third Girl on the Train, I wagered that I could get a little more bang for my buck if I did two Miss Peregrines, which you pretty much couldn't do if you did a third Girl on the Train, and I'd have them at headliner status. So hopefully the bonus money, the bonus points will make up for not doing a third Girl on the Train. That's what I'm wagering. So the stars in this case, and the stars of Scrub strategy, are Ava Green, Asa Butterfield, and Emily Blunt, Haley Bennett, from their two big movies, and then just pretty much filling in, min price or close to min price on the rest of the call sheet. Let's also take a look at the runner-ups call sheet. Fredo. Big shouts to my boy Peter. It looks like he went with a fairly balanced attack. It looks like he's got his headliner stack of Girl on the Train. He's got a headliner stack of Deepwater Horizon, which would be very interesting to see how it performs this weekend, because it did okay last weekend, about 20 million. But if it does 40 or 50% drop, it's going to be hurting to make up that difference. He also did Storks, which could be smart because animated movies, depending on word of mouth, tend to hold pretty well for about 5 or 6 weeks. Masterminds is a curious entry. It didn't do that much last weekend. I think it was only 6 or 7 million. It'll be very interesting to see how this plays out for Fredo. And then he gets himself a headliner from the dressmaker. And then he's rolling with Don't Breathe again. That might actually be just a punt option. Make sure he gets his limited release type mandatory required actor, because it was actually him choosing Jane Levy and Don't Breathe last weekend, and Jay Devlin choosing Lupita Nyong'o in the Queen of Cotway, which was the difference maker, which the $30 difference, why he got second for 50 versus Jay Devlin's 80 for first. So we'll see how this strategy plays out. I'm pretty curious. And let's take a look at one more call sheet. Let's do someone who's new around here. Well, actually, no. We're going to do two. I'm always curious to see how Jaybird does, because Jaybird, as people who have been following the podcast for a while know, has terrorized me during the initial testing of the game when we were just in a Google spreadsheet form. He won all 4 seasons. We had 2 8-week and 2 10-week long seasons, and he just terrorized all 4 seasons, won the championship belt, had to mail it to Canada, which was really humiliating and annoying. And good job for you, Jaybird. Looking to see how you rebound in the second week. I believe he came in 5th last week in his first week of real money play. So he maxed out on Girl on the Train. He did a 4-pack of MS Dhoni, which actually looks like it's in platform release, so it's still a small film, affordably priced. And then 1 Deepwater Horizon, Kate Hudson, headliner status. Looks like he punted here on the dressmaker just to fill a slot. And then Jane Levy, Don't Breathe, looks like another punt. He punted this limited release type slot and left no money left. It had 0 money left over. So he maximized his budget, got all 10 actors in, punted a couple of slots right here, but has this also is a fairly stars and scrubsy strategy with 4 actors who are priced 10K and up, and then the rest, no more than, looks like 6,700. So good luck to you, Jaybird, this weekend. Looking forward to see what you come up with. And we're going to do someone new to the environment. Let's do Air Bud. My boy, Misha Noctegal, my brother in arms for Chick-fil-A, going back to our Upworthy days. So let's see what he was thinking. So it looks like, he did Birth of a Nation, headlining with Nate Parker. And actually, I saw Birth of a Nation last night. The Birth of a Nation, excuse me. I went to like a 10:30 showing or what have you, and there's only 3 people in the theater. I mean, really powerful, strong film, but I don't know if it's going to have the box office returns we're hoping for. Um, we'll see what happens. I really well, I wouldn't say I enjoyed it. It's a movie to be endured, not enjoyed, but it's a powerful film. It probably will have some legs and it'll carry out throughout Oscar season. But as far as like a box office smash, slavery movies are really kind of hard to judge at times. So the Birth of a Nation, Nate Parker, American Honey. Now, I'm very curious about this movie. I've seen the trailer. I'm fascinated by this movie. Let me see how many screens. It's only on 25 screens, so it's in super duper small release. But I believe it had, I believe it had 25%. Let's go back to Air Bud. I believe it had like not 25%. It had a $17,000 per screen average, I think, or no, $17,000 gross on 4 screens last weekend. So for like a $6,000 or $7,000 average, I believe. So very curious to see how this does. If it cracks, 200,000 or 300,000. I mean, there's a few points there. He's got him at a headliner, so that'll be a 40% bonus. Masterminds, probably not the strongest of the wide release picks, but you're new here, Misha, so we'll cut you some slack. Queen of Kotway, I think, is probably the best bet you can do in the limited release category. The limited release category this week is a bit of a dumpster fire, not much to choose from that's got like legs that'll get you a lot of points. Age of Shadows, foreign film, only on 33 screens, I believe, so it'll be interesting to see how that plays out. So it looks like he kind of went big on the Birth of a Nation with Armie Hammer. So he's got his headliner stack of the Birth of a Nation, and then also adding Gabrielle Union. So Air Bud. Didn't mean to out you there, Misha. I guess I did it again. But Air Bud is going heavy on the Birth of a Nation, slightly fading the Girl on the Train. He's got his Emily Blunt. I mean, you can't miss the Girl on the Train this weekend. If you do, you're just playing this wrong. Interesting. He picked up Middle School, Worst Years of My Life, that might come under the radar to surprise some folks with 11 or 12 million. It'll be interesting to see how it plays out versus what the tracking says. And then The Dressmaker. He made sure to get one of my longtime favorites, Kate Winslet. Love you. Loved her since Titanic, man. She's an amazing actress. He got Kate Winslet in The Dressmaker to fill out the rest of his call sheet. 600 under budget, not bad. Good start, Air Bud. Be very interested to see how you fare this weekend. And that will conclude our Micropod as we went over the weekend preview, doing a review of some of our call sheets. Thanks for everyone who's playing. Thanks for everyone who's thinking about playing and who are subscribing to or listening to the podcast. Make sure to follow us on all of our social media handles, everywhere from Facebook through iTunes at the iTunes Store, where you can check us out and see all of our other podcasts of entertainment and strategy. Thanks for listening, and talk to you guys next time.